here this morning, and I was asked to kind of catch you up on things that have been happening at school the last few weeks. We're over halfway through our first quarter, which seems crazy that the school year is almost 25% done. But we are moving forward. There's lots of good education and good learning and good experiences that are happening on our campus and off our campus, as you'll see in some of these slides today. So as Mrs. Mason told you, our theme for this year is Shine. So we are actively looking for ways that our kids can shine and that we can shine and be a light in our community. Before school began, the staff spent some time in prayer asking the Lord to help us to be His hands and feet. And I appreciated Elder Kuhn's prayer this morning for the school and for the staff and for the students, and we covet your prayers. Please keep us in your daily prayers that we may be a positive light for Jesus, that the teachers may shine, and that we can be His hands and feet in the lives of the young people. So first day of school, we had our mascot Wolfie there, some fun pictures as the kids come for their first day of school pictures. Here we are, getting school started. And it seems like it was just yesterday, but like I said, we're, I think, 6 weeks in now. So we started our school year with prayer as a campus, as a student body. And then we had popsicles after, because that was in August and it was hot. And it's a cool tradition. We start the school year that way, and we will end the school year as a student body in prayer in the circle like that. Our first chapel, we had a puppet come and share with the kids, and this year we're starting a puppet ministry. 2 weeks, Jan? Is it 2 weeks till Student Week of Worship? 3 weeks? 3 weeks. We're going to have students starting our puppet ministry as part of our week of worship. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a fun time for the kids. And we had our handshake starting the school year, making new friends, meeting the new students, and reacquainting with our old friends. All schools have fire drills. We had our first one. Then juniors and seniors, second week of school, I think, headed out for their off-campus experience. You can see Mr. Mason was really excited for that trip. Good stuff. The kids went out to one of the islands in the San Juans and spent a couple of days there. Looks like Mrs. Hammond is having a good time with now Mrs. Brown. In case you hadn't heard, Miss Gessley got hitched last weekend. So we're all trying to readjust and call her Mrs. Brown instead of Miss Gessley, but we are excited and happy for her. Fun stuff out on the islands. That same time, we took freshmen and sophomores on an excursion. We had to alter plans because the ferry got canceled, but we had a good day together. Mrs. Dillon, if you're ever in Mrs. Dillon's room, she does all kinds of cooking things, and they were making pudding pops that day. And once a month, Mrs. Dillon also makes brownies for Friendship House. So you may not know, we provide a meal for Friendship House once a month. We do some stuff on campus, and we partner with North Cascade and take a meal over there. And third and fourth grade always make the dessert. They make brownies every month. Mr. Mason is always busy with projects, have the kids science being a verb rather than a noun, and they're always out doing something. So this was, I think they had several experiments that they were using the 7th and 8th graders as guinea pigs this day, if I remember correctly. Maybe that's not the right word to use for them, but they were test subjects, let's call it that. We began with a high school vespers for the and Pastor Ofa came up and shared with us out at out at the Pereira's house. Very nice evening with Pastor Ova. For the last, is it 3 years now, Zach? For the last 3 years, we've partnered with the Salish Sea Institute, and our students are actively involved in ongoing research, and they go out once a month and spend a day out in, not, well, on the water, around the water, hopefully not in the water, but maybe a little bit, collecting all kinds of data, and they'll have a report at the end of the year from what they've learned. This was the requisite stop at the donut house on the way back. Last week, we took 5th and 6th grade down to Sunset Lake for outdoor school. Our kids had a good time down there. We heard the wheels of the bus go round and round. But some activities there, fishing. They're dissecting owl pellets there. Whoops. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Let's go back. They're dissecting owl pellets. They had a good time finding out what the owl had eaten. The reptile man showed up, and they had a fun time holding snakes and alligators and whatever else he had for them. Then Christmas came early this week, so we're caught up to this week. Monday morning, we got a call that said we would have a new vehicle show up on campus on Monday. Yeah. Completely unexpected. Someone saw a need and said, let us step in and fill it. And we, in case you don't know, in case you aren't on campus, we have the gold bus, our gold nugget that's over 30 years old, 35 years old I think it is. And we have a van that's over 20 years old, or right at 20 years old. So, and they're both safe transportation, but new transportation is very much appreciated, and we are very thankful, and the student body is very thankful for that. So we appreciate your support. You will be hearing more about areas that we need some support. We have some deferred maintenance that we have taken care of this summer that needed to be done this summer, but we will be asking for your support to help us take care of those expenses, and you'll hear more about that as we go along. But as I mentioned, we always covet your prayer support. Please keep us in your prayers. We need His help and His guidance in all the things that we do. And like I said, our theme for this year is Shine, and I'm going to ask Ileana to come up because this week we had an opportunity for our kids to shine that I had never even heard of before. I don't know if you've ever heard of trail angels. Not anything that I even knew existed, but we took our kids up and we were trail angels. We provided meals for the hikers that have been hiking from Mexico. Some of them was 160 days. Yeah. One person I think has been walking the trail for 6 months. So they're on their way to the Canadian border, and every once in a while we get to somebody provides food for them. So we were trail angels, and Ileana's going to tell you about that.
No pictures? Okay, so what we did, it was a lot of fun to go out and help these people. We were told a week before that we're going to go out and help these people and be not prayer angels. Food angels in a sense, and provide them with food. And at first I was confused because I was wondering what the whole angel magic was about, because they mentioned something about code names they had on the trail, and it was our first time ever hearing about this. And we were informed that basically the trail they're going on, they start from Mexico, I believe, then they go all the way up to Canada. Correct me if I'm wrong, and they have like a really long journey. And what we did was we went out to, I think it was Maple Pass, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Maple Pass, something like that? Rainy Pass? Rainy Pass? Okay, we went out to Rainy Pass, and we set up a booth. We had hot chili, had cornbread, we had brownies. They were very ecstatic about that. And we set up stuff, and we waited. We posted out signs for the trails people to know, hey, we have food to help you and give you the right amount of energy to go out and, be ready for your next run. Not run, but walk. But A few times. We were waiting out there for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know, like 30 minutes. And then some people came by, and they were travelers, and we got really excited. Their code names, two of them I remember, was Potato, like cat potato, but she morphed into one word, Potato. And then there's another one, Dr. Pepper, because she loved Dr. Pepper. And we were talking with them, and one of them was talking about their stories they had. They were pretty cool. Like, when they were walking on the trail, they saw, like, rattlesnakes randomly and just, like, slither by. Or there was another time they went to the restroom, and there was, like, bats in the restroom. And, like, she was explaining to me, I think this is Potato talking to me, and she was sitting down, and she looks up, and she realizes, oh, look, there's bats. And when she was trying to filter her water under this bridge, and then a bat came up to her, just staring her down and hissing at her. And she said it was not a pleasant experience. And it was really cool seeing all these people and their stories they had and how grateful they were. They were telling us like the best trail magic they saw. And the stories that they told like on their trail was really, really cool. One of them was talking about, hold up, I don't remember which one was it. Because there's 4 of them that came by during our turn. There's Dr. Patrick Potato and 2 other ones. And I asked them, hey, what inspired you to go out on this crazy adventure? Because honestly, to be completely honest, I wouldn't do that. It's a lot of walking. I would like go like 3 miles, then like, okay, I'm done. That's good for me. Like, what's your ambition that kept you striving? And what like inspired you? One of them was from Czech, and she explained there's this hike they do, and they go around the country, and she realized, oh, if I can do that, then I can do any trail. So then she decided to set off on her adventure. Another one of them, I think this was Potato, she explained that when she went on this hike, I think she's from Colorado. I can't remember exactly where, but she did this hike there, and after she did the hike, she was like, oh my goodness, I want to go on this hike now. And I was like, how could you do that? Because you're talking about injuries they had, they stepped on a rock wrong and they like twisted it. They had to kept on going. And I think it's just insane and really cool how God gave them the strength to do that. And they explained how they always count their blessings, like, oh, at least it's not rainy today as it was yesterday. Every day is a good day. And I think we can learn how to shine like they do by persevering even through the darkest times. And I find that amazing. Yes, amen. And I think hopefully we get to do this again in following years, because it was such a cool tradition to see how all these people are striving to walk this like long distance, and how we can learn from their stories, and how one day maybe we decide to do that. I personally don't think so anytime soon, but it's really cool to see all the stories, and hopefully get to do this next year again. Thank you.
I gotta say, I'm kind of the opposite of Eliana. Oh, I want to go do it. All right, I just need 6 months where I can just take off and go do that. Before the choir comes up to sing This Little Light of Mine, last year it was great. We had our theme song, and I thought, oh, Mrs. Mountain inspired that. She's like, we need to have a theme song. So she suggested it. I was like, oh, this is a good tradition to continue. So with our theme of shine, let your light shine, I was like, well, there's shine, Jesus, shine. But I felt like that was way too on the nose. So we have to be a little more cryptic than that. So I decided, no, let's do This Little Light of Mine. And I know a lot of you guys know kind of the traditional This Little Light of Mine, right? And when we're young, we sing, under a bushel. No. Okay. But in the hymnal, there's a really cool arrangement of This Little Light of Mine, and it has kind of this spiritual slant to it. So they're going to come up and sing that for you, and then I think we're going to have enough time. You guys get to learn it. So before I invite choir to come up, I just want to read a text from Matthew, and we have part of this. If you walk in our front door, there's our Shine theme poster, floor length, or floor, not all the way to the ceiling, but it feels like it, especially, I'm guessing, if you're a kindergartner and you're looking up at it. And we have part of this verse. So this is Matthew 5, 14 through 16. I have to hold it farther away from me. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. High school choir, can you guys come up?